Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Mespat Dating. Today, we're going to be talking about why it's important for guys to get scars on their heart. What the hell does that mean? Well, just like when you're in the gym and you're working out, you get calluses on your hands, right?
Guitar fingers.
Or you play guitar, you get,
Yeah.
kind of thick skin on your fingers.
Yep.
Now, why this is important is because it helps you build that strength. It helps your hands get stronger. It helps be able to lift more weight. And that is exactly what dating is. This might not be what you guys want to hear, but this is a really important thing that I've learned on my journey. I know Jaron for sure has learned on this
Oh,
journey.
I sure as hell have.
Right? When I started my dating journey, I wanted it to be smooth and silky, and I find a girl and we settled down, and that's it. The amount of times I've gotten my heart broken has been more. If I knew the pain I was going to go through, I probably wouldn't have started doing
Days
this,
since heart last broken.
Actually, it's been 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And why this is important is because learning how to get your heart broken builds the resilience that it's going to take to find the quality of woman that you want and to be able to navigate it in a way that is going to produce a long-term lasting result.
So I've experienced this even back in the early days of my stuff. So for those of you who followed the channel for a while, I was grossly overweight as a kid. I was kind of a dork, not very athletic, not really comfortable in my own skin, and certainly in my physical appearance because I didn't look the part of how I mentally visualized how I wanted to look physically at some point in the future. And naturally, as a byproduct, women rejected me, very painfully so. And at one point, luckily, I started when I was young. It's like, you know what? I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to lose the weight. I'm going to start my journey. And I'm like 20 years in. I was 17 when I made that decision, 37 now. And when I was 19 or so, we're in Los Cabos, Mexico right now. I actually went to college or university in Guadalajara, and I played some baseball down there and had a real good time. And within 2 years of making that mental declaration that I am no longer this fat, gross, depressed, just nasty guy looking back at me in the mirror, I'm going to hold myself to a higher standard, God damn it. And I started doing it. It's really crazy how quickly the world starts to communicate back to you, like you're on the right path. So I was in Guadalajara dating, Los Altos de Jalisco. Like for me, at least personally, we all have our own version of a 10. But for me, Los Altos de Jalisco are the most beautiful Mexican women. And I'd say probably Latin women too, and they're a little more classier. So I was dating the top chicks at my university within 2 years of getting publicly humiliated for being a fat guy, essentially. And I had, let's say, in university, a bit of a reputation. And we were out at dinner one night, and a buddy of mine, he was actually another foreign exchange student from the United States. We were around the table, and guys and girls at the table, it was mixed company, were asking me kind of like, oh, like you were with so-and-so, and you took her out? I'm like, oh my God, she's so hot. I'm like, oh, everyone likes her. Like how'd you get her? And this one guy just asked me, he was an older gentleman, point blank. He's like, so tell us the heartbreak story. I'm like, excuse me, come again? What are you talking about? He's like, I think I was 19 at the time. He was, I think in his early 30s or so on. And he said, I've never met a guy who's really good with women who didn't somehow just get ran through the ringer, who just didn't get raked over the coals while they're still hot. And I think that's a good point to start this video. What is your kind of Batman origin story? A lot of times when we do meetups, which guys, subscribe to the channel, like, comment, share, all that stuff. Follow us on our socials. We do have some cool stuff in the works. We will start doing on-location meetups at some point. We've got a lot moving in the background. I know we haven't been maybe doing as much content as we have before, but we're really, really leveling up this brand, and we're going to bring you some really cool stuff. So stay tuned in the future. You don't want to miss it. But what's your origin story? What got you into this? Because most guys want girlfriends at the end of the day, but none of us are born just getting it with women. Even the naturals, sometimes they're contextually naturals, but then all of a sudden they have a change of scenery and like, hey, I was the captain of my football team. I was a president of my frat. I was, whatever. And then now I'm just a corporate drone and no one looks at me twice. What happened?
Yeah. So it's a part of the process. It's a part of the process to get hurt and to be able to learn the lessons, because when you look back on a heartbreak a year later, maybe in the moment you can't really see all the little pieces, but a year, 2 years later, you can see, oh, this is exactly why this happened. Maybe because there was personal reasons, maybe because of a timing, maybe because I wasn't doing, quote unquote, the right things. Maybe I was even caring a little too much. If you go check out our last video, I just went through a breakup.
Doing the right things with the wrong girl.
Right things.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is, man.
There we go. Sums up that one.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Peace, guys. We're out.
Yeah. So that's what it was for me, man. Like I just cared a little too much, and she was not in a place to be cared about, and it stung like a bitch. I've gotten through it a lot faster, and this is something that's going to happen too. Like as you go through these heartbreaks, each one, the first one I had lasted 3 months. Couldn't talk to people. I just want to be alone all the time. This one it's been a little over 24 hours since it actually happened. And I feel good. Like I feel good. I feel little stings of pain here and there. Like I'm just like every once in a while, just like, that sucks. But like I'm smiling, I'm laughing. We had a great time last night. We're gonna have a great time today.
Mhm.
And just like in the gym, like because I got the calluses on my heart starting to build, my heart doesn't feel like it just got ran through a freaking meat shredder. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
And it's exactly like the gym. And we use a lot of gym analogies because, guys, let's be honest, if you're watching dating videos, you need to do some sort of resistance training. No, you don't have to be a bodybuilder. No, you don't have to use roids or any of that stuff, but you need to present the best version of yourself. It does help. Going back to my previous story, I've been obese and I've been fitness model lean. Let's just say, guess which one gets you more results with women. I'll just leave that there. Put a poll or something or whatever. Like it's pretty obvious. So when you're doing resistance training, you probably remember. I remember like the first day. I was probably a teenager. First day doing squats.
Oh, dude.
And then it doesn't really hurt the next day. You're like, okay, I can feel like, something's kind of, yeah, day 2. DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. I remember trying to stand up out of bed and you're like, yep, nope, that's not going to happen. But now, I mean, I train every single day. A lot of my friends remark, they're like, wow, you don't take breaks between sets? I'm like, well, no, I got to the point where I'm at my genetic max and I don't want to push into super physiological territory. So then it was just, okay, train the same volume, but do it in the shortest amount of time as possible. So it's really like a cardio workout too, more athletic training. But I don't get sore anymore. I really do the same workout every single day, but it's like, how do I do it faster? Like, can I add a little bit more? Like, you still want to do the progressive overload, but I've been in a maintenance mode for so long that like, that's just what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And to bring it back to dating, I had my heart crushed so many times when I was younger, and I still every now and then will have a girl do something that's really kind of shitty in the moment.
Yeah.
It's like, but you've been there so many times, and really the healthy part is to learn how to process. The healthy part is learn how to process it, get it out there, get over it, learn, reiterate. Like, okay, well, maybe I screwed up here. And then I did this instead of this. I zigged when I should have zagged.
Yeah.
And with those data points, with the more collective body of knowledge of experience with women in the dating context or just women or relationships, hell, even with anyone in general, you start to notice these things and you do become a lot more resilient. Things that used to just crush me, that took years to get over. Now, if I see something coming, I was like, oh yeah, she's not the one for me.
Yeah.
and I'm just like, okay, sweetie, yeah, like we're not going to do that anymore.
Exactly.
And a lot of times you'll hear people say kind of more in the mainstream that, although this guy's cold or he's got a chip on his shoulder. No, it's not that. It's just that I'm not going to make the same mistakes as I did before. And I can see these things coming. I don't get blindsided anymore. I see these things coming a million miles away, and I just don't give energy to how that story is going to play out.
Exactly. You don't make, I mean, that's a key of it. Like you make mistakes, you're going to continue to make mistakes, but you don't make the same mistakes as long as you learn from them quickly. So the breakup I had yesterday, I'm not going to have a breakup like that again, because I'm not going to give a girl that isn't compatible for long-term relationships 9 months and take her on trips.
Yep. Every relationship has a shelf life.
Yeah. Yep.
Like that one expired a while ago.
A while ago.
It's like when, oh God, like when you get home and you have like maybe dairy in the fridge and you're like, oh, when did I use this last? I was recently in Europe for 3 weeks. So came home, pulled out my Greek yogurt, went to go for a smoothie. I'm like, yep, nope, not that one.
Yeah.
Like I normally crush Greek yogurt, but it had sat in the fridge for a while. I'm like,
Yep.
yeah, this one's, I need to get a new Greek yogurt.
Chicks are like Greek yogurt, guys.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Like, comment, share, subscribe.
Yeah. Don't report this video, please.
Obviously, we say that in jest. If you're watching this and you're like getting huffy puffy and you don't know that, like probably not the channel for you.
You're so right, man. Like once you start getting out there and getting out of your own shell, you've done the work on yourself. You realize relationships, it is an exchange of value, and you want to find the girl that's going to be able to exchange the value for you properly, and where you're going to be able to exchange it for her properly. Some girls are resistant or avoid it, and they don't want a lot of attention or love or affection. They like to be left alone. Like they're really like cats. Other girls want a lot of that love and support and stuff, sometimes to the extreme where they become a bit codependent and needy, right? So obviously you want to find what's in the middle, but you have to sift through all those cats and dogs out there to find the one that's going to be right for you. And obviously if you're dating, girls reject you a lot. Like I've faced thousands of rejections, and it's because I'm not the right fit for that girl at that time.
Yep.
and that's okay. And so really the key of this video, guys, is remember, if you're out there, if you're getting your heart broken, if you're feeling like you're getting your ball stomped in every time you go out to date, notice that that's only building the strength around your heart and your muscles to be able to love properly in a way that's going to be able to protect your own boundaries, and as well be able to give to the max to the girl you're dating as well. And she'll sense that. Girls want an experienced guy. They really do. They don't want to know how he got there. Trust me, don't be talking about that.
Yeah, nope.
But they'll be able to feel that energy, like, okay, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. And that's really when you're going to be able to find the relationships that are going to really add a lot of value to your life. I'm still in that process, as you guys know. So in nowhere there, I'm Mr. Perfect, but I'm working on there. And I know that if I keep going out there, I'm going to get my heart ripped out a couple more times. I can feel, I know it. I know I'm going to face some more stings, but eventually it's going to get to a part where I've made so many mistakes and I'm not making them again, that I'm just going to find that one that I don't really have to fuck up with anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you get to the point to where you're in the moment, you recognize patterns, and that's why experience is so important. Like, guys, just start putting yourself out there. Especially if you're new, you're gonna fail, and you're gonna fail a lot. When guys start working with us, we clearly set that expectation. There's no way about it. It's like learning a bicycle. You're going to fall off the bicycle. You're gonna have to start with training wheels, and eventually you just get it. And if you've been off the bike for a while, like I loved riding my bike when I still lived in California. I'll go a few months and I get on the bike. I'm kind of wobbly, but give me a couple minutes. Like, all right, here we go. You know, your mental synapses start to reconnect. You're like, all right, here we go. Now I got it. Like I can balance. I know what I'm doing. And then you're off to the figurative races at that point. So you really do need to get this kind of immersion therapy type experience. Get it out of the way as fast as possible. When Joel takes our cold approach guys out, 3, 2, 1, go. What you're really doing is just training your brain to like, I see a girl I find attractive. Hey, I'm Jaron. Pleasure to meet you. Beautiful day. You know, like we use different sequences, but that's the energy you want. Yep. Rather than, and I catch guys, we're in Cabo right now, do this all the time. A reasonably attractive woman walks in and all of the guys are like making it really obvious. I'm just kind of sitting there just like I can see through my periphery. Like she's obviously there, but I'm also thinking like she'll likely notice me too. Like I'm looking around, these guys twisting their backs trying to check her out. Girls notice that stuff because I notice when girls do that to me. And then eventually in my head, I'm like, at the end of the night, she'll be mine. If I want her or if she wants me. But there's no ego investment caught up in it. Mm-hmm. Like there's a couple of girls as we were leaving the club last night. Like 4 girls walked in and, you know, I kind of in the periphery saw them come back around us. I'm like, I was like, yeah, I'll go talk to them, you know. And then immediately a couple of guys came in. I'm like, well, okay, it's whatever. Like, my story continues as usual. Yeah. Like I'm there, I'm presenting myself. You know, if we do happen to physically cross paths, I'll go ahead and put an offer on the table. And then she can choose what to do with it or not. And I always advise, I like to put the ball in the girl's court. I don't like to waste time. I don't chase. I don't beg them, hey, hang out with me. Oh, when we see each other and da-da-da. For example, Instagram stories. We posted a bunch last night. I have a bunch of girls that slid in my DM. I'm not in Mexico City right now, so I'll get around to them whenever I want to. Yep. I'm having a good day today with the boys. I don't need to talk to girls. They're not going anywhere. Yeah. And trust me, 99% of likely you watching this, the types like, and they can feel that energy even through text. And then when I come through, just like, oh, hey, I'm back in Mexico City. Oh, I got busy. When are you free? Yeah. It's the same thing. Here's a tip, guys. Pro tip. I've noticed that my game really leveled up when I started doing things to girls that hot girls have done to me. It's like, hey, really sorry I couldn't make it. I'm sorry I didn't tell you I got busy. They're just like, hey, I got busy. I'm free now. What's up? Because they're really just exploring options. Like, oh, let me dust off these leads and see what sort of options are there. Like maybe there's offers off the table. Maybe there's new offers. But it's like an open market. There's constant bids and offers and buys and sells and trades and acquisitions. And you just need to play the game that way. It's nothing against you personally, especially for you guys on digital dating, which is kind of my forte. Is that, oh my God, I matched this girl and we were talking and we were hitting it off and then she ghosted on me. It's like, but she doesn't know you. You're a pretty assortment or arrangement on a smartphone. In the moment, maybe she's bored, maybe she's with their girlfriends or whatever. She's just passing the time. She likes the idea of potentially getting to know you, but then she gets back into her normal life and she forgets all about you. Yep. How do I know? Because I do the same damn thing.
Yep. And that might sting. And that's kind of the crux of this is like, anytime you're dating, you're going to get rejected. You're going to face pain. You're going to get your heart ripped out a few times. You're going to approach a girl you really like and you had a great approach with and you find she just doesn't want to go on a date with you or she doesn't even respond to you and you're just like, damn, like what happened? But you're going to question yourself and you just kind of realize hey, that's the game. And if I want to win at this game, I got to play it. So, guys, hit a link down below if you're ready to get some scars in your heart, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.